Finish him! Get over here!
Come on, guys. So the most hard foods. First one, the last one here, which is a natural attack there on some creatures, and here on the last one we want to use the invincibility. Okay, so which is the third one there. So when you control the creature, you have invincibility for, I think it lasts for like 5 or 6 seconds. Now as far as special cards, we're using the fat one. You could make the dealer work, but I would just prefer the fat one because it's harder to avoid. And we're using the equilibrium mod on area 3, okay? I would love to use this guy, but he's not going to help us, so it has to be equilibrium, would be the best choice there. Now as far as the deck, we're pretty much going as high damage as we can. As you can see there, I have like muscle fibers. This increases the damage by is a medium increase, the same way as this guy. So these are kind of the same. It increases by medium. And this is the gray one, increases greatly. And this is for extra energy. You could slap on the you know, the damage here, level 1. It will make one swipe difference on Tyrone and Val if you have this on, this extra damage. But however, I feel like the energy suffers a little bit, so having the extra energy here makes a huge difference, especially because the creatures are kind of expensive, as you're going to see. But just know it's something, if you want to test it out, you can try using the damage here as well. The only difference is it's going to take one less swipe to kill Tyrone or Val, okay, in this case. Now this is the deck. Now the biggest guys here are the discount mod, obviously, and these 4, which is the 2 Nias and the 2 explosives, okay. Now the other creatures, you can kind of mess around with the rest if you want to, but this is what I have right now. Now let me just explain each one of them. So the Nia, you can pretty much spawn the Nia on top of them, and because of the tentacle, they get stunned, right? I'll probably have a gameplay after this so you can see better. I was playing against the squad, I think, but the tentacle is gonna stun them, and then you can go close to them while they're stunned and hit them with a bunch of swipes, pretty much. And because you have high damage, you know, you're gonna be downing them quite often doing that. So that's the idea of the build. And also because of energy leech here and the high damage, you're going to be getting a lot of energy back, so you can keep the zombies spawning. So yeah, that's the idea. It pretty much works like an ambush net. Like you can spawn the Nia on top of them and get hits that way. You just not the idea is not to get grabs here, because the grabs take too long, especially from the front, so the invincibility is going to wear off before he finishes the grab, and you're not going to be able to finish it off with other survivors around. So that's why the idea here is mostly just the swiping, okay, and the special abilities to stun them so that you can then get the swipe. This guy, he's going to be invincible, so, and he runs very fast, so it's hard for them to avoid him. And I think like 2 explosions of this guy, you can probably kill someone already with this high damage here. Obviously not Tyrone or someone like that, because he has a lot of health, but maybe a Val, a Jan, someone more normal. The 2 explosions of this guy, you can pretty much kill them already. So because the invincibility is really hard to avoid, especially with the extra speed here from the Berserker buff. We have the Jester here as well. Because his scream is also affected by natural selection. So again, if you want to, you can literally spawn the Jester on top of them, get up from the floor, and scream. And you can do all that before the invincibility runs out. So essentially you can guarantee screams, and then they're going to be stunned. And you can go for the swipe as they're stunned and try to kill them that way. Or you can just go with other creatures as well while he does the stunning, but yeah, it's better when you're controlling it, so that he cannot be interrupted. The idea with the dealer is pretty much they're mostly useful on doors. Like after you're gonna open the door, you can control on the other side, obviously you control the dealer, and you kind of open the door yourself and jump on them, or as they open the door you can try jumping on them that way as well. But the idea is you really just control her and go for the jump right away while you have the invincibility active. And if you manage to hit that, you can definitely get like 3 or 4 swipes in on the animation before the invincibility runs off. So you're stealing a lot of that credits, and you're doing pretty high damage there as well. So that's the idea with her. Now as far as this creature, the idea I have with it is that you know, essentially you would have 2 creatures behind the door, so you can control one of them and they will have invincibility, and then you can do the same thing with the dealer, but a little slower. You know, like you can open the door, you can get some swipes in, then go back and control the other one, because there's a cooldown of the invincibility when you leave the creature. So during that cooldown, you're going to be controlling the other zombie that's next to it, okay? And you just keep going back and forth on the door and controlling the two creatures to pretty much have always invincibility there, and you're constantly swiping at them so they can, in a way, never get through the door. So that's the idea with this. But you can totally, like, if you wanted to, like, you don't even have to use the viral mod. I just think it helps. But you could just go with the normal buffs here if you wanted to. Where is it? You can go with the normal buffs. You can also put discount if you wanted to, instead of using this many creatures. Especially with the high energy, like I mentioned, with the equipment that increases the energy to 16. Especially in area 3, you're recovering energy a lot faster. It's a lot easier to play that way. You can also use this guy to help with the energy. So when the zombies die, not only are you getting the energy from the energy leech, but also from the gun itself. I just don't think it's that good of an idea, because I'm thinking about area 3. That's why I don't have discount as well, because on area 3, because you have 3 mods in your hand, it essentially means you're going to be forced to use the discount or discard whenever you get it, because it's the only card in your hand. Okay, so that might end up screwing your economy in some scenarios, you know. So that's why I don't have it. But if you especially if you do not run the Enviro mod and you just go with the normal energy leech here, you could totally, you know, try using that instead to help with your energy rather than the Enviro mod itself. Okay. So yeah, as far as buffs, you either want the Berserker so you can catch up to them faster while you're invincible, the energy leech for sure, and the infection, pretty good too if we can have that, all those 3 together. So yeah guys, this is the build. I'll probably have a match after this one, this showcase here, so you guys can see that in action a little bit better. So yeah guys, see you guys then. Take care. Oh, and obviously I forgot to mention, the reason why this is the best build is because it counters the Kashima, because you're invincible. So there's no Kashima when you're playing this build, okay? And you're constantly applying free damage to them with the invincibility. So that's the idea. That's why it's the best build, the most tryhard, because obviously if you try running anything else, they're going to be Kashiming you the entire game and you won't be able to move. But with this thing, you know, it's definitely different. Okay guys, so I recorded this game for you with using the build. You're going to see here that these guys are a squad too, so they're all 4 together. Or at least 3 of them, I'm not sure, but definitely 3 or more there together. So you'll be able to see better how it works against the squad. Although, like, the interesting part is mostly area 3, because area 1 and 2 they might actually be able to counter for the most part, because they just have to really run away from your zombie. The good squads would do that, especially if it's a big map. They have a lot of room in the to kind of run to. It can be a little tough because of that, but and that's why they use the explosive one, because the explosive one is kind of harder to do that with. But you can't always control your deck, right? So you don't know what you're gonna get. Which brings me to mention, if you maybe you could even put a quick draw on your deck if you wanted to be able to get the fat one faster for area 1 and 2 if you wanted to. But yeah, you'll see. But it's mostly interesting on area 3, because then they have to do the core, and you can just keep spawning invisible creatures on top of the core. So they kind of have to respect it, you know, and they're gonna go down and everything. But yeah, I'll let you guys see this build is definitely beatable though, probably I would say. But no, but you're mostly gonna lose to like the 1% squad in the world, pretty much. I was playing against a. Oh, by the way, I noticed something here. I'm using the in this match I wasn't using the Vire mod, as you can see. I was using the Ivy mod. That's another option you can use as well. This kind of makes it so on area 3 your energy is gonna be that little white arrows, you know, because of the Ivy mod. If you use the Viro mod, the energy is not gonna be white, but I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Okay, you're not gonna. It's just a few milliseconds difference on the energy. It's not that big of a deal. So that's why I switched to the Viro mod. But with this build, this variation, you can get the Ivy for free as well on the cores and whatnot if you wanted to run that way. But you're gonna be kind of lower on energy because you cannot guarantee you would have the energy leash. And you can see right there how you play the doors with the skinny zombies, like I mentioned with the double clones and whatnot. Kind of how you would go about it.
Go find me a place to use that.
But yeah, guys, like I mentioned, I'm not sure if I would lose, because that match that I mentioned, like, you're probably gonna lose to the 1% players. I'm not actually sure, because when I was playing them, I actually kind of stopped playing in the middle of the match because I was just kind of tired, because they would just like keep running away from my creatures, and I couldn't really do anything. The fat one, they can try to dodge it in a way, like, cause you're kind of forced to. He doesn't explode immediately, right? So they can try to dodge it in a way. So that was kind of annoying me, and I was just kind of whatever. So I didn't even try to beat them on area 3. So I don't know how that worked there. But you know, on area 3 technically is where this build shines the most, because you have the energy to just keep spamming infinite, like, invincible zombies that do high damage on the core, essentially, that they have to respect, you know, and they're gonna keep going down constantly, especially Samuel, since he's the one that's closest to the core. Maybe you can have the Ivies as well on the core, because you can see here. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I can say. I never lost with this build. I have to be honest. This was probably the squad that was the closest to winning against this build against me. The other squad that I mentioned, that was kind of the top 1%. I didn't really play the full match, so I don't know if I was gonna be able to turn it around in area 3 with the equilibrium mod. I just didn't really bother to try. So yeah, that's my feedback. But for the most part, you're gonna be winning more games with this.
This really is not a very efficient way of ending your life. But orders are orders. I have a first aid kit for your boo-boo. There are glaciers moving faster than you.
Use it as a learning experience. Let's go.
Let's do this!
Oh, that was close. Thank you. Let's have a closer look.
He feels no pain. The perfect machine for this endeavor. Why did I bother building all of these mechanisms for you if you are going to move so slowly that the tortoise with a limp could overtake you?
Here's just the last thing I mentioned. You know, you see, I can spawn on top of them, and as soon as you're getting up with the creature like that, with the Nia, you're already pressing the triangle to use the tentacle. So that's how it works. Because then you're essentially using the tentacle as you're getting up. Okay, so that's the trick there. And because you're invincible, they can't really avoid it, you know. And because they're close to the tentacle, it hits them, and they're gonna get stunned, which gives you time enough to get up and go for the follow-up. Okay, so that's the idea. You'll use the tentacle as you're getting up with the invincibility.
I expected a little less from you, but there are more games to come. Sometimes it's easiest just to do things yourself. You understand.
Darn it, this is locked. If it's here, I'll find
And this is what I mean as well with the fat one. You can see sometimes it's kind of annoying to get the hit because he does not explode immediately. So sometimes they can run enough distance to avoid the explosion, even though you're using the skill to increase the explosion range. So yeah, that's kind of annoying when it happens. But so yeah, that's how they can try to counter the fat one, is by kind of running like that. And you have to kind of, ideally you want to hit them with your hand before exploding, because that's how you guarantee it. But you know, sometimes they can avoid it like that. It's kind of annoying. Another way they can use to counter this build is by using yellow herbs. Okay, so because yellow herbs will drastically reduce the damage, so it's going to be a little harder to down them if they're constantly using yellow herbs with this build. Yeah, right there I was trying to listen for the flashbang, but it didn't make any noise when she threw it on the floor. So yeah, that was unfortunate. I think this happened several times in this match. I'm trying to listen for the flashbang, but it makes no noise when it hits the floor. Usually it makes a noise.
The time has come to give in. This really is not a very efficient way of ending your life. But orders are orders. Wah wah. The pen of fate awaits right in the final line for you.
Everyone feeling better?
Coming back swinging!
So many of you left. More food for the undead in this area. We kept them hungry for you, in case you got this far. Sometimes it's easiest just to do things yourself. You understand. Everyone who is excited about what comes next, raise your hands. Oh, well, I've never been so insulted in my life. This really is not a very efficient way of ending your life. But orders are orders. He feels no pain. The perfect machine for this endeavor.
There's gotta be something useful here.
Real progress, but such little progress. The cogs turn. The bars of the cage fall into place. You are close to the point of no return.
Group up for healing.
Smash it up! Burn it down!
Check it.
All the pieces I have put in place led you here. You have no hope. Do not fight it. Go into the darkness. Time is running out for you, my friends.
No worries. One more time.
That could not have gone better. I rule. We get to keep you here for more experiments. The decline of civilization continues, and your lives will end with it. If not today,